Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Please continue.
Good.
Good.
So
So
after
after
MP
MP
NDP one,
NPP one,
which was led
which
by the
was led by
leadership
the
of His
leadership of His
Excellency John
Excellency John Ejekon
Kufuor,
Kufuor,
then came
then came
NDC two,
NDC two,
also
also
led
led
by
by His
Excellency
Excellency
Professor John
Professor John
Evans
Evans
Atamils,
Atamils,
who
who
unfortunately
unfortunately passed away
passed in the
in
course
the
of his
course of his
service to
service
the
to the
Republic of
Republic of
Ghana.
Ghana.
And
And
then
then
the Vice
the Vice
President,
President,
who is now
who
the
is now the
President of the
President of the
Republic,
Republic,
assumed
assumed
office.
office.
He was
He
sworn in the
was
same
sworn in
day
the
that
same day that
His
His
Excellency John
Excellency John
Dramani,
Dramani,
John
John
Evans
Evans
Atamils passed
Atamils
away
passed away
to finish
to
his
finish his
term
term
according to the
according to the
Constitution of
Constitution
Ghana.
of Ghana.
So after
So
his
after
term,
his term,
he won the
he won the
mandate
mandate
to
to
complete the
complete
second
the
term
second term
of the
of the
NDC
NDC
two.
two.
But that
But that
officially marked his
officially marked
first
his
term
first
as
term as
president.
president.
So meaning he
So
had a
meaning he had
chance
a
to
chance to
contest for
contest for
another
another
election.
election.
But
But
unfortunately,
unfortunately,
he wasn't
he wasn't
successful
successful
in his second
in his second
attempt,
attempt,
which he
which he
contested with
contested with
our former
our former
president,
president,
His
His
Excellency.
Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So, so after Nana Akufo-Addo, so that the election of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also began the NPP two office. So meaning we had NDC one, MPP one, NDC two, MPP two. So the tenure of after the tenure of uh, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, because His Excellency the former president then had only one term, the Constitution then allowed him to contest again for his second term, which he contested uh, the vice president who was the former vice president who was then the presidential candidate for the ruling NPP. And fortunately, he won, which something that has never happened in the history of Ghana. He won and then became the first president to have exited power and then come back again to lead as the president. So you can address him as former president and current president. He is the only president in the history of Ghana to have that title, former president and current president. And his victory was overwhelming. His victory was really overwhelming. It really tells the restoration of the Ghanaians' confidence in him. Yeah, so briefly, if you ask me about the contribution of MPP and DC in respect to the political landscape of our democracy, that is what I can say.
Okay, thank you. But this second question that I will definitely break a certain thing. Is abnormal for me to ask, but I need to ask. So, in the direction of Ghana politics and the economical phases Ghana now, from your history background, I will say that can I say it in authority that NDC being the political party who have run Ghana for so many years is more faulty in this phase in challenges of Ghanaian in terms of economic and finance because basically they have been in power for almost some consecutive times when you compare to the NPP, which let me say, for example, NDC has been in rule party in Ghana for let's say 6 times or 7 times, then the MPP has been ruled for 3 times. So the challenges and financial economical challenges that we are facing in Africa, consistently in Ghana, can be boldly say that is the mismanagement of the new democratic democratic Congress. Can I say that I stand to be corrected?
Can you hear me now? Great. So, thank you for the question. As I said, that cannot be the entire truth because, as I told you earlier, we've had two MDC leading Ghana combined for 16 years, and we've equally had two MPP equally leading Ghana for 16 years. So the MPP and DC combined have ruled Ghana for the past uh, 32 years under the Fourth Republic. They have led Ghana for the past 32 years. And then, when His Excellency, the former President John Ajay Kufuor's era, during his era, he presented Ghana for HIPIC, which was purely for foreign, uh, for the foreign market that we own to write off our debts as a highly indebted country. So most of our foreign debts were written off. But if you look after that era, our financial troubles, challenges, and what you term as mismanagement has still been with us. And it will be fairly inappropriate to attribute it solely to the NDC because both parties have equally 16 years shared blame in what we find ourselves now.
Mute no, mute no, Mr. Asem. Hello, Honorable.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, sorry, there was a technical fault which we needed to sort it out.
That is
Um,
okay.
yeah. So please, I want you to still continue on your education that you are giving us.
Yeah, so before the technical hitches, I was telling you that the the financial challenges we find ourselves at the moment cannot just be attributed to the NDC as you you put it in your question, because both political party have had the opportunity to rule the country for 16 years, and then it will be technically unfair to attribute it solely to uh, the NDC. Yeah, so that was the point I was making before the untimely break.
Okay. So quick one. Now we all want solution for this economic crisis. You being someone who have been in traveling and you have been somebody who have moved around the country and now currently in Berlin. What do you think uh, or which sector do you think when most focused when Ghana focused more it can also reduce all these. I can't say it can stop or it can be elevated straight, but at least can reduce the crisis. What suggestion do you think you will make to the normal Ghanaians and the political aspects for them to also notice down so that they can at least implement slowly but sure it might work. That is the next question that I want you to answer for me.
Okay, if I got your question correct, are you asking, is it that you want to know what we can do right going forward to put our finances and governance in place? Or,
Genau, genau.
Okay, good.
um, I think if you look at the past 1 year after the assumption of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you can clearly see that that election represents the confidence of the people in him, and also it also tells that the Ghanaian people believe that, given the circumstance we were in last year, he will be the better person to steer the affairs of Ghana, to bring the fiscal discipline and the good governance that people were yearning for run up to the election. And then, as we speak, if you look at all the financial indicators, from inflation to uh, exchange rate to lending rate, you can you can see for clear that things are really falling in place. But there are school of thought that also believe that things are what we see today because the government is not spending, which I quite agree with them, because most sectors of the economy for the past 12 months have not received any significant uh, development. There's no work going on, especially in the construction, in the manufacturing. Uh, so you cannot say for sure how they tend to do it. But if you look at the big push agenda, which a lot of people are looking forward to be the game changer in the coming years, like from 2026 and beyond, I believe that if they really have a package and they are really committed in delivering, if they really have a package and are really committed in delivering, in making a significant impact on the Ghanaian economy, I think they should move beyond campaign promises. They should move beyond the mere talk and launches of program, and also be a big implementing government that will spearhead employment, that will boost our um, infrastructure development, and then increase our per capita GDP, yeah, our gross domestic product. Also, invest in the manufacturing so that the export we can also get much from our export and then end up generating enough money into the consolidated fund. By so doing, government will also be able to meet its revenue targets for the year. And then we can say the economy might look promising, but as at now, we can only rejoice with the financial indicators. Yeah. But
But
there are
yeah,
also, sorry, let me add this, but there are also story on the street that actually the costs of living now look a bit lower as compared to at a year to year comparison. And then some people, some section of the economy believe that things are better, and they have absolute confidence in the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. But I can tell you, it is quite a bit earlier. He just 1 year in his administration, and then we can only hope and wish him the best for 2026, and then the years ahead.
Thank you, Honorable. I would like to ask, should governments focus more on job creation also or focus more on social welfare? What is your opinion about this?
Such, that is a nice question. Social intervention, job creation. I think you can only have more social intervention when you have more in your revenue basket, but you can also not have more in your revenue basket if you don't have jobs. People need job, not social intervention. People need a source of income. People need to do something for themselves and their family, not really what government can do for them. So if a country will grow, expand, and then attain a very high standard of living, then most of its populate need to be working. So I believe the government need to have a serious policy that is geared towards production, manufacturing, and job creation, permanent job creation, not temporary job creation, not the kind of job creation that is thrown away after a new government takes over. A permanent job creation that is uh, economically driven, that is tier to uh, export, most importantly. Yeah. So if you ask me, I think the government would do a good service to the people of Ghana if its focus is geared towards job creation, especially in the agriculture, manufacturing, and the other uh, capital investment ventures. Yeah.
Thank you. Me being a data analyst, my most focus is basically on health and education. So I want you to enlighten us more about the healthcare system and also education sectors. What do you think, or what changes do you think can be made to survive education and healthcare as currently in Ghana?
Okay, thank you very much. I want to start with education. If you look at our education sector in the landscape of Africa, or West Africa to be precise, you realize that we are not doing bad at all as a nation. We're not doing bad at all. Our education is among the best in West Africa, and then record shows that through that people that are educated in Ghana turn out to be doing very well across the world, and then it's an undeniable factor. It's an undeniable factor. Uh, so on education, we're doing well, but I think with the revelation of the recent WASI results, it's just a reminder to us that there's more room for improvement. Uh, we need to be up our game so that we don't soil the gains we've achieved over the years. Our universities are doing well, but I will only challenge the universities to be sector driven. Yeah, they should make sure that graduates that are being produced are tied to the demand of the sectors. They should not be only interested in having a lot of courses, but rather produce graduates that the industry needs, or graduates that will bring solution to the industry. Because if we have graduates that are not meeting the demand of the industry, it means that as a university, you are doing a disservice to the republic. Therefore, my advice to our higher institution of learning is that they should rather give more attention on the product that they are putting on the market. They should ask themselves a series of questions. Are they products that the industry really need immediately, or they just want to produce something uh, to show their records, or just for production sake and just make money out of the system? I don't think that is their purpose, but they are doing a good job. But I just want to encourage them to do more, and then at the end of the day, the credit goes to us, and that redeems our integrity. If I tell you Ghanaian students are the most among the brilliant across the world, in Germany, in UK, in US, all around, Ghanaian students are exceptional. I think we can continue to do better and also pay more attention to our basic and secondary education. I don't know if I answered your question. If you're okay with the education, then
Uh,
I want to move on to the health. If you have any follow up on education.
as per your answers and more of enlightenment, I would like to also basically I know you have answered the question, but more want you to throw it on their skills and certificates. Do you think that Ghana education now is focused on certificate only, or both certificate and skilled work for the individual when school is completed, even if the person couldn't afford the tertiary level during secondary, after completing, the person can work, get something for him or herself, and not being liability to the country or to his or her family. What I want you to enlighten more about that. So the question is our Ghana education, or our education is more focused on skills or certificates?
Uh, so as I said previous in my earlier submission, I I told you that record shows that Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education has been doing a wonderful work over the years, which cannot be taken away from them. And then in my submission also, I made a caution statement to and a plea to the universities also to focus on the on graduate-centered programs, industry-driven programs. I know they have amazing programs. They are producing wonderful top-class graduates, but there are majority of graduates that also find it difficult to fit in the job market, and then this has become a revolution from industry players that are always uh, tell us the frustration they go through during recruitment and then having new graduates in and out. I am of the opinion that our universities, through their research and innovation uh, faculties, can do more sector-driven programs or do some renovation in their curriculum so that their graduates will be seen by the industry that they are prepared for as problem solving graduates rather than coming to add up to their problem. And also, uh, for this, I want to give it up to the former government, especially the Ministry of Education led by Honorable Oseya Edichum. I think he did a fantastic job with an intensive emphasis on STEM education, which, when you travel around the world, you realize that, especially in Germany, it is the backbone of their economy. STEM education, technical education, is what drives most of the developed countries. Previous governments have done well with the establishment of STEM schools, and information also from the ministry shows that the current government, headed by Honorable Haruna Idrusu, are also continuing the legacy of the previous government, and they are also equally committed to STEM education and then STEM education and technical education. With technical education, if it is well done, a graduate from a technical institution or from a STEM school is mostly likely ready for the job market. Okay. For example, let me give this scenario. For example, you have two students coming out from the BECE. One decide to go to the technical school, let's say Accra Technical Institute. One also decide to go to the secondary school. Each attend their respective school for 3 years. You realize that right after the education of the one that attended the Accra Technical uh, Institute or Accra Technical Training Center. Okay, for mostly it is mostly known as TITI Technical Institute. We have the Takrade Technical Institute, Kumasi Technical Institute, Koforidua Technical Institute. Assuming we have a student A is from TI, and student B is from the secondary stream, the normal secondary stream. You realize that the one from the TI immediately after the technical institution is able to continue immediately to the economy. And it is difficult to find someone who went to the technical institute unemployed. Okay. So it's a sector that if we focus very well, it can help us in job creation and contribute meaningfully to our employment and then the economic sector. Yeah, I think that should be my,
Yes.
my take on education.
Yeah, I am very well agree with you. But quick one before you move or step to the next question concerning health. I would like to ask one significant question. Why is it that education is becoming more expensive whilst unemployment remains higher?
When you say education is expensive, that is an agreeable uh, statement because there is a popular saying that if you believe education is expensive, then try ignorant and see which of them is the most expensive. And then, whilst public sector enters the terrain to complement government effort, definitely we will see uh, some quite a bit expensive institution or universities or second cycle institution solely because they are in to offer competition, and offering competition also come with a cost. So you see most university charging so much in the extent that they intend to be the best and offer the best option to prospective students. But even in doing so, I think the government has also played a major part in the past years. Government tried its best to control or to interfere in the fees that this private university charges. So if you look at the fees they charges in most of the private universities in Ghana, you can say they are almost at par because I'm sure government have an input when it comes to it, because you cannot say you're a private university, therefore you should be allowed to charge the people of Ghana any amount that you want to do. I think that it would be unfair to the people and also to the very sector that we want to make it better. Yeah, so I think, in my opinion, I think it's okay. If you want it cheap, better, do well in your exams, go to public universities. Okay,
That
that
does
does
not
not
mean
mean
the
the
private
private
universities
universities
are
are
not
not
taking
taking
good
good
students.
students.
They
They
are.
are,
But if
if
you
you
are
are
good
good
and
and
you
you
want
want
to
to
go
go
to
to
public,
public,
the
private
private university
university
like
like
Ashasi,
Ashasi,
Presby,
Presby,
Catholic,
Catholic,
Methodist,
Methodist,
what
what
have
have
you,
you,
that
that
is
is
your
your
choice.
choice.
But
But
if
if
you
you
are
are
good,
good,
you
you
are
are
concerned
concerned
about
about
finances,
finances,
I
I
am
am
telling
telling
you,
you,
focus
focus
and
and
then
then
get
get
to
to
the
the
public
public
universities.
universities.
And
And
I
I
think
think
the
the
public
public
universities
universities
fee
fee
are
are
quite
quite
moderate,
moderate,
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
financial
financial
aids
aids
which
which
students
students
can
can
access.
access.
So
So
fairly
fairly
education
education
in
in
Ghana,
Ghana,
in
in
my
my
opinion,
opinion,
it's
is
okay.
okay.
The
The
cost
cost
is
is
okay.
okay.
Very well. Well answered. So we are moving to health. The first question I would like to ask is, should access to the basic health care be the right or privilege to the citizen of Ghana?
That is a good question. In Ghana at the moment, access to public health is a right, not a privilege. It's a right because whilst you are sick, you have the right to go to the hospital and you have the right to be taken care of, even in the absence of money. Just that is quite disturbing. Sometimes you get the news that people are ignored at the hospital because they were made to make some deposit before attending to them, and because they were not having the money, they were not attended to, and that resulted in their demise, which is quietly not acceptable. Something which the ministry have to continuously look into it. But I think access to healthcare is a right and must be enjoyed by every citizen of the Republic of Ghana. Therefore, government must continue to improve access by making health facilities closer to the people, especially in the remote areas, building more cheap compounds, and also uh, motivating doctors who take posts to rural areas so that they can also be of service to the rural communities. And then we will not come to a point where we will see uh, health service as a privilege, but rather as a right. So if you ask my opinion on health service in Ghana as a right or privilege, Straightforward is a right, not a privilege, and must be enjoyed by every citizen of the Republic of Ghana, even including non-citizen.
I know this question that I'm coming to ask is purposely should be rightly answered by the health minister, current health minister, and the former health minister. But I think you can also, as a citizen and a traveler, you can also share your opinion on this question. The question is, why do many public hospitals still struggle despite government budget?
Management. So that is the answer. Management.
Can you elaborate? Because management, to me, is just a very broad issue.
Yeah.
Management.
When I'm management, I mean there's a lot of mismanagement in the public hospitals or health sectors, centers, health institutions across the country. A lot of mismanagement, a lot of politics. Poor leadership is what it's facing. But in terms of the human resources, the public hospitals have the best human resources. Okay, they have the best human resources. But management and politics is what is killing our health sectors. That is what I can say. If you have time to sit through or watch, observe the sittings of the Public Accounts Committee over the years, anytime the hospitals appear before them, you realize that uh, some of them are not doing good service to the Republic of Ghana. There was this popular one on the social media recently. Someone was saying, whilst Otumfo was busy raising funds to make Konfanoche better, management somewhere were also trying their best to also dismantle things. I think we can discuss the issue with our public health on maybe another day, but I can tell you from where I sit it's purely leadership, mismanagement, and political interference. Yeah, that is what I can say.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. I'm very glad and happy to be your interviewer because most people acknowledge your knowledge, your frequent, and your exposure. We are very grateful. I think next time we will meet, we talk a lot about health because that is the most important thing. Without health, nothing can be in the favor of the mere citizen, which I think it is very concerning to me as a citizen as well. So once we will call you again, and I think we will have another person from the stream, which is the Minister of Health, and maybe one or two people from both political parties to express their views and call to the Ghanaian public to also share their comments and views on this issue. Thank you for being here with me. We shall meet next time. Bye
Uh,
bye.
Thank you also for having me. I want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to your media house
And also to your viewers and listeners, I want to take this opportunity again also to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. I look forward to a more promising 2026 where we have a healthy discourse on the economy and how intellectually
intellectually
contribute
contribute
in
in
our
our
own
own
way
way
to
to
make
make things better because Ghana is all we've got. I thank you and I'm glad for hosting me.
Thank you. Please, our viewers, continue to support us. Subscribe to our channel, Ghana 360 Updates, on all social media platforms. We look forward to bring you more informative, educating, and also a reliable interview from across the country, whether in Europe, Asia, anywhere we think we have knowledge people to explore and criticize and make suggestions to our governors. We'll do that to enrich them, for them to also share their opinion and view, which will enable the mere citizens to also be in control of their own and know what to do during the next election. Thank you for being with us throughout this journey. Thank you very much. Which I say Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Bye bye.
Bye.